I really love RPGs and I decided to put together a list for you of the role-playing games I'm most looking forward to. I'll start with the project I had mixed feelings about, the Outer Worlds 2. To be honest, I liked the first game but wasn't impressed. It felt raw and unfinished to me. But after some recent interviews and new details about the sequel, my opinion has changed significantly. It seems the developers have learned from their mistakes and are genuinely trying to improve what didn't work in the original. For example, perks that used to be quite boring and barely plug and play, in the new game they've been reworked and will now function more like they did in Fallout New Vegas with a real influence on your playstyle. They also updated the flow system. Previously it was just a trade-off, you got a perk but also received the buff for your stats, not the most balanced deal. Now it's different, you still get a flow, but it comes with an interesting advantage as well. For example, you can now sell stolen goods at inflated prices, but the game might randomly steal an item if you just look at it. This creates risk and adds unique situations to each playthrough. The skill system has also been revamped. Before, skills were grouped into categories, which made your character feel like a jack of all trades, but master of none. Now each skill is celebrated individually, giving you more control over your character's development. You'll really be able to feel the difference between, say, a marksman, a scientist, or a stealthy assassin. Overall, it now looks much more interesting and I genuinely started to look forward to the Outer Worlds 2. Of course, it's a bit upsetting that the price is so high, $80, but I was planning to play it through Game Pass anyway, so it's not a problem for me. It's set to release on October 29 this year. The next game we're skipping and I own is The Blood of the Dawnwalker. This is a project from former developers of The Witcher 3, which already makes it intriguing. I love The Witcher, so I'm especially curious to see what these developers can bring to a new universe. This time, the theme is vampire based. The main character is a hell vampire, hell human, and his main goal is to save his sister. We've already seen some gameplay. The combat is in the style of Kingdom Come Deliverance, with their natural attacks and defense, giving battles some tactical depths. It looks promising, so there are a few issues, the camera feels too close and the animations look a bit rough. Hopefully this will be fixed by release. There will also be special abilities, for example you can throw sand into an enemy's eyes to blind them, highlighting that combat will require not just reflexes but tactical thinking too. One of the most interesting features is this time limit. You have only 30 in-game days to save your sister. The timer only progresses when you complete quests, not while exploring the world. This adds tension and requires careful decision making. There's also a day-night cycle. During the day, your character can only use human abilities like swordplay, but at night his vampire side awakens. You'll be able to use claws and other powers, so sword fighting is still possible at night. All in all, the game looks very promising, but at the same time, games from former Big Hit developers often fail to meet expectations. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm looking forward to it, but not with overly high hopes. It's scheduled for release sometime in 2026. The next game is the Fable reboot from the developers of Forza Horizon. I wasn't familiar with this universe before, but the trailers definitely caught my attention, mainly because of the unique style. The main feature is the mockumentary format, where characters talk directly to the audience as we're watching a documentary. This technique was used a lot in my favorite sitcom, The Office, and here it feels fresh and original for a fantasy game. Not much is known about the game itself yet. It's been confirmed that we'll get a mix of swordplay and magic, as well as a morality system. The classic battle of good versus evil. It's still unclear whether we'll get the create our own character or we'll be playing a set protagonist like in Blood of the Dawnwalker. The game is set to release in 2026, so we'll likely learn more as the date approaches. For now, all we can do is stay tuned and hope the reboot delivers. Next up is Exodus, a sci-fi RPG in the spirit of Mass Effect. Here you play as a traveler, one of the last heroes sent into space to save humanity from dying Earth. your mission is to collect alien technology and face off against the ancient race known as Celestials, who have become enemies of humankind. A unique narrative element is time dilation. While you travel through space, decades pass back home. This means your decisions won't just affect the present, but also future generations. The combat system will be similar to Mass Effect, but with its own unique mechanics. There's already a wealth of lore, videos about races, unique creatures, and other elements of the universe. Moreover, the game is based on a book, so you can dive into the world early through literature, like Blood of the Dawnwalker. Exodus is being developed by former developers, this time from studios like BioWare and Bungie. This gives hope, but also some caution. Expectations are high, but execution is yet to be seen. The game is tentatively scheduled for 2026. Next is the Expanse Osiris Reborn. This is a new ambitious project from a studio known from isometric RPGs like Pathfinder and Warhammer 40k Rock Trader. Now they're trying their hand at AA third-person game in the style of Mass Effect. The game is based on the popular sci-fi franchise The Expanse, which began as a series of novels and later became a well-received TV adaptation. The events take place after the first season of the show, continuing the story familiar to fans of the universe. Developers promise meaningful narrative choices and a full companion system with level-on relationship development and probably conflicts based on morals or beliefs. A neat detail: when creating your character, you must choose your origin, Earthborn, Martian or better. And it's not just cosmetic, your choice will affect how the world treats you. Some factions may be suspicious or hostile, while others may be friendly or supportive. Not much is known yet, but the game looks promising. It's expected to release in 2026 or 2027, so we'll wait for more details. Next is Clockwork Revolution. Honestly, it stole the show at the recent Xbox presentation, becoming a major standout, and I'm no exception. It's been a long time since we've seen a game that so clearly evokes the atmosphere of BioShock Infinite, and the comparison is fitting. But Clockwork Revolution isn't just a shooter, it's a deep RPG with time travel elements where every action can drastically change the world around you. For example, you go into the past and change an event, and when you return to the present, the world is completely different: buildings, monuments, even history. I heard on a podcast that the studio head gave a specific example. You can go back to stop a serial killer. If you injure rather than kill him, he turns into an anti-violence activist. Sounds incredibly interesting and ambitious. Time travel will use not just in the story, but also in the gameplay mechanics. For example, you can rewind bullets back into your revolver, adding a unique twist to combat. There will also be full weapon customization, similar to Fallout 4. I personally can't wait for this game. It looks fresh, unusual and full of potential. There's no release date yet, but rumors say it might come out in 2026 or 2027. Next is The Witcher 4. As I mentioned earlier, The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games, so I'm incredibly excited for the next installment. Of course, it's weird that Geralt won't be the main character anymore, but honestly, his story came to a natural end. Dragging it out further wouldn't make sense. His replacement is a solid choice, Ciri, whom fans of the series already know and love. She's a not new character, but one with a rich backstory, unique abilities and a strong personality. There's massive potential for engaging story with her. Unfortunately, details are scarce. CD Projekt Red is keeping things under wraps. We only knew the game is in development and likely won't be released before 2027. Lastly, there's Elder Scrolls 6. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the series, but I'm still curious to see whether Bethesda can redeem itself after the mixed reactions to Fallout 4 and Starfield. It's unclear whether the new game will continue simplifying mechanics like Skyrim did, or if it takes things deeper and more complex in terms of gameplay. Personally, I'm curious whether Tech 6 will just be another Skyrim with better graphics, or if it will bring something truly fresh and ambitious. So these are the RPGs I'm looking forward to. They all look interesting and we'll see what cool stuff they show when they came out. Let me know what games you're waiting for. Bye everyone.